What is up, guys? It's Kyle here from Team Moons. Today we're going to give you a deck profile on my Mermail Atlantean Water Conjunction Frog deck that we have going on here. You've all seen this deck before. This is my rendition of it. It's not exactly 40 cards, but there's so many different combo starters you can have in this deck that I find running 41, 42 isn't even too bad. And it's really explosive. It's always been explosive. I played this deck back when Abyss Rising first came out. And it's always been one of my favorite decks, and I'm really glad to have it back again. So I'll be showing it to you guys on the channel today. This is the Frog version. It has the potential for the double Toad play, which is really crazy if you're forced to go first. And mixed with the Moon Glacia and a Toad, he's kind of unstoppable, really. It's crazy. So getting right into the deck, we have three Megalo. He's one of your starter cards. I find 3 doesn't clog, and if it does, you can bring it back out with Hill or Gond. So you want to see this as much as possible, so if running 3 is just optimal. Next you have 3 Teus. He's your boss monster of the deck, essentially, which is kind of weird considering Megalo is a lot bigger. But he's your main combo starter you're going to want to open. If you open this and like Instant Fusion or this and Neptibus or 1-for-1 or anything, you're going off that turn. It's probably going to be an OTK. And lastly, for the level 7s, I run 1 lead. I run this because you get the option to do the 3-card hand loop first turn and rip 3 cards of their hand to make them start off pretty slow, which usually results with them in getting OTK'd the following turn. He's also a good out with with the Abyss Gale Mizuchi to get over Ultimate Falcon because you can crash into it, which is actually pretty important at locals, so he's in there for that specific reason. Next for the Mermails, you run 2 Abyss Spike. He's another combo starter. If you open this in Abysstius, well then that's still a pretty good play. I don't find 2 clogs too much, and I'm not running Abyss Sphere, so 2 is just fine for me right now. I don't think I would change it at all. Next you have 2 Abyss Gun. This is one of your best Mermails. It's a really big combo extender and helps you out with the rank 7 plays. And we're running the double Toad combo, so you run your Osha, Mander, and Hild. I don't really think I need to explain the combo because you've probably seen it before if you're watching this video already. So that's really essential combo to the deck nowadays. Now into the Atlanteans, you run 3 Neptibus. He's your main guy. He's the one you want to see your opening turn or see a way to get to him on the opening turn, which is why you run the Deep Sea Diva as well. Because this is pretty much like a 4th Neptibus, which also gives you a tuner. This card's ridiculous. This card's pluses for days. It's really crazy. This card is a 1-card normal summon out to Vanities, because you just normal summon this, and you send your heavy infantry, and it blows up the Vanities, and then you can go off from there, so it's pretty crazy. Next you run 2 Dragoons. This card's crazy. You're gonna need to see this like every single time. This is the bread and butter for most of your plays. You're going to be searching a whole lot in this deck, and this guy pretty much gets your entire deck to your hand. 2 heavy infantry. A lot of things don't be blowing up this format. 2 works out fine for me. Some people run 1. I can't see myself running any less than 2. 1 marksman because all the back row of this format is pretty much chainable, like D-barrier and stuff. So this is pretty much just for hitting out strikes and all that kind of stuff if you just don't want to fall for that kind of stuff. We run 1 Moon Glacia. A lot of people are cutting this nowadays, but I find the option for the first turn to make a Toad and then Moon Glacia and then drop 2 cards from their hand is just crazy, and you can't kind of cut that aspect out of the deck, I think, in my opinion. Next for some main deck tech, you run 2 Gamma Seal. He's a water, so he's never dead. You can always discard him to get some Mermail effects or whatever, so he's not too bad. And when you're going second, he's like the 1 card out to pretty much every single Yu-Gi-Oh card that was ever printed, so you gotta run this. Next you play 3 Aqua Spirit. I was running 2 at the start when I started playing this deck again, but I bumped it back up to 3 because you kind of want to see it every single opening turn, especially if you're going first. And if you're going second, it helps you make some more extra rank 4s to take their stuff with Honor Arc or something like that too. So this card's pretty much always just going to be one of the cards you want to see in your opening hand. So if I'm running 3, you kind of have to right now. For the Frogs, you're running 3 Swap Frog. and 1 Ronin. You don't need to run dupe because it just clogs and there's not a whole lot of extra space in the deck. But you get a lot of the effects off the Swap Frog. You don't get the Atlantean effects for the most part, but it still comes in pretty clutch with stuff like Gunda and stuff, so he's pretty good. And Toad's a really good card in any kind of water deck, so you kind of just have to run these. And lastly for the monsters, you run 2 Maxi. You generally want to go second in this deck, so if you open up Maxi and they let you draw even 1 card and you stop them, they're probably going to get OTK'd, and there's nothing really they can do about that. For the spells, we're running 2 Pot of Desires. We're not running 3 because you want to see it, but you don't want to see it all the time, and you're not running 1 because you don't want to see it never. But I'm running this instead of Moray Agreed because Moray Agreed, I don't know, it just seems less consistent to me. Sometimes you have stuff in your hand you don't want to put back in your deck, and Pot of Desires is working out really good for me. You're running 3 Instant Fusions because you want to see this. It's one of your main combo pieces and enables you to go absolutely crazy during that turn, and they're probably going to go OTK if they don't have an answer. Next, you're running Soul Charge. You're running this because it's just a combo deck and it just extends your plays even further. You're running 1 for 1 because you want to get Neptibus. Neptibus is really good. And lastly, you're running Mizuchi for a target search off of Megalo. This card's really good because it stops every single spell card like Slumber and all that stuff. But unfortunately, it doesn't work against the Metaphos cards, which is pretty annoying because that's one of the deck's hardest matchups, I'd probably say. So usually you decide that out. But for the most part, it works out pretty clutch, and it's really good for OTKs. For the extra deck, we run 2 Bahamut Shark. You run these so you can do your double Toad play, which is facilitated by the double Toads. You need to run these. You can go for it every single time, pretty much. You run your 1 Abyss Dweller for graveyard decks, and it's a water, so you get their effects. Honor Arc for taking big stuff instead of Big Eye, and it's a water, so you get their effects. That's the only rank 4s you need, really. 1 Abyss Gaios, he's crazy for your turn 1 play. Worst case scenario, if you end on like a Toad and Abyss Gaios, it's still pretty good because you can negate all their effects and they can't attack you. You're running Dracosac for the hand loop play so you can get 5 waters in grave, and he's just a really good wall to sit on. And you're running 1 Darkness, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, sorry. You run him because he's really good against destruction. And anything like Metaphors and stuff, they kind of just have to activate a whole lot of cards in order to resource away this card. And then they end up taking a lot of damage, and they're probably going to go TK'd if they do. For the Synchros, you're running Tatsunoko. He's a really big combo play in this deck. Herald Arclight, because you can go for it with Infantry and Deep Sea Diva. And this card actually causes a lot of decks just to scoop if you get it out first turn. Coral Dragon, because it gets their effects off the water monster, discarding them. And he's just a tuner to go into other stuff too. And the stuff you're really going to be going into with Tatsunoko and Coral Dragon is probably Leo. Turns out, a 3100 attack monster that can't be targeted is pretty damn good. And it's really hard to get around with anything other than like Ultimate Falcon or something stupid like that. So, gotta run those. And for the fusions, we're actually running 2 different kinds. We're running Norden, which is the obvious one. You're running into fusion, so you're going to run Norden pretty much every single time. And you're also running Rare Fish. We're running Rare Fish because you want an option. Because if you open 2 instant fusions, if you don't run Rare Fish, you're going to have a dead instant fusion in your hand just because you're not going to have a way to put back Norden unless you put it back with Toad. But usually you want to put back other things with Toad. So you're going to have the Rare Fish just to go into extra rank 4s. And turn 1, if it's not optimal to go for your Norden, you're going to go for your Rare Fish instead, just so you can have your Norden later for resource game. And this still enables the Toad Bahamut play, so like you generally want to go for Rare Fish first if you're going first. But yeah guys, that's it for the deck. It's really, really great. Stomping at locals, so I haven't taken it to like a bigger event yet, because for me to travel to a larger event, other than locals or something closer than that, is just kind of absurd because of the distance it is away. So if you guys have anything you want to say about the deck or any suggestions, comments, concerns, whatever, feel free to comment below. I do check the page very, very often. I'd say several times a day even. So if you want to just shoot me up there and just talk about anything really, if you can, feel free. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helped me out a lot. It gives me some more encouragement to upload more videos for you guys. And if you guys want to see anything else, you can feel free to let me know. And I do have access to a lot of cards. So in the near future, we have stuff like Goat coming up. I'm going to do a Goat profile and Fluffles and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to let me know what you want to see in the comment section below, feel free. And I'll definitely get that up for you guys. Thanks a lot. It's Kyle from Team Moons signing out.